right, so making money on YouTube, serious money, and doing it right from the start, that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, and not just like scraping by with pennies from ads, but building a real income using your expertise.
Exactly. And for this deep dive, we've got Sunny Lenarduzzi's popular video, The Blueprint to Make Dollars on YouTube from Day One, as our guide.
And what's really interesting is that Sunny doesn't pretend that it's easy. You know,
Right.
she points out that a lot of creators are working super hard, but they're barely making ends meet.
Yeah, it's almost like they're stuck on a hamster wheel, just kind of like burning energy but not getting anywhere.
Yeah, and she actually calls it the publish and hope method, which I think so many of us can relate to. It's
Sure.
just churning out content and praying that something's going to go viral, but there's no real plan.
No strategy, and that's what Sunny's all about, strategy.
Yeah, she encourages creators to think of YouTube less as like a stage and more like a search engine. It's about attracting the right audience, the people who are already looking for what you offer.
So it's not about being everywhere. It's about being where it matters.
Exactly.
I love that.
And she has some really inspiring examples that she shares, like Nate, who made $677 in just 2 hours from his very first video teaching accounting.
Seriously. 2 hours, $677.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's incredible. And then there's Solemn, who is teaching German, and he's making like $10K a month with under 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and the point is that these aren't like huge YouTube celebrities. They're everyday people proving that Sunny's method actually works.
They're proving it's possible, and what's really cool is that they all have that one thing in common, that laser focus.
Yeah, they're not trying to be everything to everyone. They've honed in on a specific niche, and they've become like the go-to source for that audience.
Okay, so how do we actually do that?
Well, Sunny lays out this algorithm domination framework. It sounds a little bit intimidating, I know, but it's actually really clear and easy to follow.
All right, lay it at me.
So the foundation is your ideal viewer, because you can't create content for everyone. So you have to get really clear on who are you specifically trying to help, what are their burning questions, what are they struggling with, and what's that dream outcome that they want.
Okay, so much advice is just like, find your niche.
Right.
But Sunny actually gives you the steps to figure that out.
Yeah.
What's next?
So the next step flows naturally from that. It's creating content that's undeniably relevant to that ideal viewer. So think about putting yourself in their shoes. What are they searching for on YouTube? What would make them think, this is exactly what I needed?
This is where you start building authority.
Yes, exactly. You're not just entertaining them. You're becoming the problem solver. You're the expert that they can trust.
And that leads right into the next step, which is search traffic first.
Right. So Sunny talks about using keywords strategically, the words that your ideal viewer is actually typing into YouTube's search bar.
I see. So we're not just hoping that people stumble across our content.
Yeah.
We're actually making sure that they find it.
Exactly. And then that leads into what she calls the growth flywheel. That's where everything starts to snowball.
Okay, explain the growth flywheel.
So when your content is relevant and it's optimized, you attract those ideal viewers. They engage, they subscribe, YouTube takes notice of that and starts suggesting your videos to a wider audience. And then you start getting what we call browse traffic, the people who are just like discovering you organically.
It's like you've created this system that works for you 24/7, even while you sleep.
Exactly. But here's the big question. How do you actually monetize that awesome audience that you've built from day one?
Yeah, views are great, but we want to turn that attention into income.
Right. And that's where things get really interesting. So Sunny's core strategy is the online course.
Okay.
So think of YouTube as your lead magnet. You're drawing in those ideal viewers who are hungry for your expertise. Then you offer them a structured path to go deeper, to achieve a transformation that they want.
So it's not just a random collection of videos. This is like a carefully crafted product. And we're not pricing it based on how many hours of content it has.
You know, and the outcome, the transformation that it delivers.
Think about what that's worth to them.
Exactly.
This is a huge mindset shift from how a lot of creators think about pricing.
Absolutely.
And she has this brilliant formula to help you clarify all of this.
Yeah.
I help ideal client go from zero state to hero state so that they can achieve desired outcomes.
I love that. It really forces you to get specific about what problem are you solving and the value that you're providing.
It's like a compass for your entire YouTube business.
Yeah, and this is where email lists come in. This is where it all comes together.
Sunny's big on email lists.
Yes, and for good reason. Because we don't own YouTube, the algorithm could change tomorrow.
Right.
Your email list is your insurance policy. Every single video should be driving viewers to join that list, maybe by offering like a checklist or a mini course or something.
You're not relying on YouTube to keep sending you traffic. You're creating that direct line of communication with your audience.
Exactly. And then you nurture those relationships and eventually you can guide them towards that online course.
And Sunny has a visual for this, right?
Yes. It's called the content scaling funnel.
Good.
It really helps you visualize how viewers move from just discovering their problem to actively seeking solutions to being ready to invest.
I'm already seeing how this framework could totally revolutionize how I approach content creation.
It's about being strategic, understanding that each piece of content plays a role in guiding your audience towards that ultimate transformation.
This is brilliant stuff. We've barely scratched the surface of Sunny's blueprint, and I'm already buzzing with ideas. I can't wait to dive into the next level of her strategies in part 2.
So are you ready to go even deeper into Sunny's YouTube wisdom?
Absolutely. I'm really curious about that content strategy breakdown she mentions. It seems like she's got a really structured approach.
Yeah, she breaks it down into 4 phases, starting with content itself.
Okay.
And her advice here might surprise you. It's not about trying to conquer a massive market right away.
I'm sensing a theme here, being really targeted.
Exactly. So instead of being a small fish in a big pond, you want to be the big fish in a small pond.
I like that analogy.
Right.
So you're finding that niche where you can dominate, establish your authority really quickly, and become the go-to expert.
Yeah.
I love it. It's way less intimidating than trying to compete with those YouTube giants.
Right. Much more manageable.
Okay. So we've nailed down our niche. What's next in this content strategy breakdown?
Okay, so the next phase is optimization. It's like we've created this amazing product, but we need to make sure it's got a killer storefront.
Ooh, I like that.
Right, something that's going to grab attention and draw people in.
So this is where thumbnails and titles come into play.
Absolutely. Those first impressions are everything. Your thumbnail and your title, they're like a dynamic duo working together to pique curiosity and convey value.
So walk me through Sunny's strategy for creating these click-worthy thumbnails and titles.
Okay, so first she reminds us that we're competing for attention in a sea of content. Right, so our thumbnails need to be visually striking. Think high-quality images, bold colors, text overlays that highlight the key takeaway or benefit.
It's like we're creating mini movie posters for our videos.
Right.
Something that's going to make people stop scrolling.
Exactly. Make them go, wait, what's that? And then the title comes in to provide that context and clarity.
Right.
Sunny recommends keeping it concise, using keywords that people are searching for. And you can even incorporate numbers or like power words to make it even more eye-catching.
This is making me realize I've been way too passive with my thumbnails and titles.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook that stuff.
Just slapping something together and hoping for the best.
Well, there's a real art to it.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Sunny even suggests using some title analyzers, like those AI tools, to get feedback.
Yeah, those can be really helpful.
Okay, so we've got our niche, we're creating awesome content, we're optimizing it. What's the next phase?
Are more engaged and more likely to become paying customers.
So it's not about creating that quick, disposable content.
Right. It's about providing real value, building a deeper connection with your audience, establishing yourself as that expert.
So we're not just looking for casual viewers, we're looking for people who are truly invested in our content and our brand.
Exactly. You want those people who are ready to take action and invest in your expertise.
This is such valuable insight. I'm starting to understand why Sunny's approach is so successful.
She's really thought of everything.
She has. She really has. I feel like we've covered so much ground already, but I know there's still more to uncover.
There's more to come.
Okay, what other gems are waiting for us in the final part of this deep dive? So we've got a good handle on Sunny's content strategy now, and we're tracking those key metrics, but there's still that question of like, what actually makes a YouTube video effective?
Yeah.
You know, the kind that attracts those high-value viewers who are ready to invest in our expertise.
Yeah, there's a whole other level to Sunny's approach. It gets really interesting. She argues that crafting compelling content goes beyond just hitting record and talking about whatever comes to mind.
Right.
It's about strategic planning and understanding the psychology of your audience.
So it's not just about picking a topic we're passionate about.
Right.
It's about tapping into what our audience actually wants.
Exactly. Remember that concept of relevancy we keep talking about.
Yeah.
Sunny takes it even further. She gives us a framework for identifying those topics that will not only resonate with viewers, but also lead to conversions.
Okay, so content that doesn't just entertain or inform, but content that inspires people to take action.
Exactly, like signing up for your email list or purchasing your online course.
Okay, I like it. So how do we do that?
Well, Sunny says you have to really dive deep into the mindset of your ideal viewer. What are their burning questions? What are they struggling with? What are their aspirations?
You know, it's funny. I think about how much time I spend thinking about my content and how little time I spend thinking about my audience.
Yeah, it's a shift in perspective.
It really is. It's a big shift.
And Sunny gives us some practical tools and strategies to understand our audience.
Okay.
She encourages us to use personal experience, market research, even AI tools to kind of get inside their heads.
Ooh, AI tools. That's interesting.
Right?
There are some really amazing tools out there that can help us understand audience trends and identify content ideas.
Exactly. And once you've identified those high potential topics, Sunny shows us how to optimize them for search. So she dives into the world of SEO, finding the right keywords that will attract the right viewers.
Keywords are so important. It's like the secret code to getting visibility on YouTube.
Absolutely. If you're not using the right keywords, your videos are practically invisible.
Okay, so we've got our topics. We've optimized them for search. What else?
Okay, so this is where she introduces a really interesting concept called views and velocity.
Views and velocity. Okay, I'm listening.
It helps us validate our content ideas and make sure that we're creating videos that people actually want to watch.
Okay, break it down for me.
So it's all about identifying existing demand.
Okay.
Sunny says if you see a video with a ton of views, even if it's from a channel with a small subscriber base, it's a good sign that people are interested in that topic. So you're tapping into that existing interest and creating content that has a built-in audience.
So we're not just relying on our gut feeling. We're looking for data to validate our ideas.
Exactly. And Sunny also reminds us that not all content is created equal. She breaks it down into 3 types: evergreen content, depth content, and viral content.
Okay, we've touched on these before, but I'm ready to go deeper. What's the role of each type?
Okay, so let's start with evergreen content. Sunny says this is the foundation of a successful YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's the type of content that stays relevant over time. It provides a steady stream of traffic and establishes you as a reliable source of information.
It's like a library of valuable resources.
Exactly. Think tutorials, FAQs, how-to guides, anything that provides timeless value.
Okay, so evergreen content is the foundation. What about depth content?
Depth content is where you really get to showcase your expertise and connect with your viewers on a deeper level.
Okay.
You share your unique perspective, you provide those aha moments.
It's where we move beyond the surface level.
Right, you build relationships, establish trust, you position yourself as the thought leader.
Love it. And then there's viral content. We all dream of creating that video that explodes.
I know, we all want to go viral.
Right. But I know Sunny has a more nuanced view on this.
Yeah, she acknowledges that going viral can be great for brand awareness, but it's not always the best path to long-term success.
Because a viral video might attract a ton of views, but if those viewers aren't interested in our niche, it's not going to help our business.
Exactly. Those viewers might not be interested in what you typically create.
So we might get a bunch of views and subscribers, but those numbers might not actually translate into sales.
Exactly. And that's why Sunny says we should focus on evergreen and depth content for building a sustainable business.
Okay, it's about quality over quantity, focusing on the long game, building that loyal audience.
Yes, and creating content that truly makes a difference.
And that's a great point. This is about so much more than just making money on YouTube.
It is. It's about building a business that allows you to share your knowledge, make an impact, and create the income and freedom that you want.
It's about turning your passion into a purpose-driven business.
Exactly.
And Sunny leaves us with a challenge, doesn't she?
She does, she says. What unique knowledge or skills do you have that could be packaged into an online course? Start thinking about your ideal viewer and the transformation you can help them achieve. This is your chance to create a business that truly lights you up while making a positive impact on the world.
I love that. It's such an inspiring call to action.
It is.
And after this deep dive, I feel so much more equipped to answer that challenge and create a YouTube business that truly aligns with my vision.
Me too. Sunny's blueprint gives us a roadmap, but the real journey starts now with taking action, experimenting, and creating content that makes a difference.
This deep dive has been amazing. I have a whole new understanding of how to use YouTube to build a successful business.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are so many resources and communities out there to support you.
Absolutely. So what are you waiting for? Take Sunny's wisdom, put it into practice, and start creating the channel and the business of your dreams.
Let's do it.